Welcome, friends, to Leaders on Tap. I'm David Weigel, your host, and we are so excited to be broadcasting today from a brand new podcast studio here in Frederick Creators Studio. So thank you to Brandon and Nick for hosting us for what is going to be a very special conversation that I know you will be blessed to listen to. So our guest today is Steve Tate. Steve is the founder and CEO of a company called BCT. BCT is a FedCon IT contractor that has done amazing work defending our country. And so you're going to hear some of that story, as well as how God has worked through Steve's life, both personally and professionally. So glad you could be with us today. Steve, thank you. Thank you for being here, brother.
Happy to be here.
I have been looking forward to this conversation. So many bases I want to cover, but I know it's, and your work is so much a part of your life, the mission work that you're doing. So I want to cover all of that. Before we go there, though, I wonder if you could share who Steve Tate is when you're not behind a desk.
I characterize myself probably best as a pilgrim. And that's what I tell all my mission teams when we go to the field. We're here to do what is needed. We don't bring our egos to the field, and we don't bring an agenda to the field, because as a pilgrim, you basically are there to do God's work wherever he leads you. So for me, being a pilgrim is maximum flexibility. And that's why I think God has continued to bless us. We listen. I try to listen and hear for his direction and do what he instructs me to do. And then I ask him to open doors as wide as he can open them for me and slam doors shut where I shouldn't be going.
That's a good prayer.
So, again, I use that label for all the mission teams that I lead.
I love that.
Because I don't want them to get it's not about your agenda and your ego. It's about what God wants us to do.
Wonderful way to start this conversation, just to even root and center what we're going to be talking about here. But I'm curious, at what point did God give you that heart? Does that go back to some influence as a young man?
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I was probably too kind-hearted, got my feelings hurt as a kid. And as I grew older and then, and started working in sod fields and working with ex-cons and then later in the military and all that, I developed a technique, good or bad, and I call it the circle technique. You ever heard of that?
I have not.
Well, the circle technique is all the people in your life fit in a certain circle.
Mm-hmm. I have heard of this.
Okay. Well,
explain for our listeners. It's good.
I use that technique to allow only a certain few in that inner circle that can really affect my heart.
Come on. What's your criteria for that inner circle?
My wife, my kids, and that's about it.
Okay. So you've
the
got
next circle out.
Yep.
It's people like you, Mark Mayer, people I know and I love, but they're not in the inner circle. So if something were to happen in that circle, it would be unfortunate, but it's not a life-changing event.
Then presumably there's a circle outside of that.
Oh yeah, there's multiple
Listen,
circles. I got
right?
more circles.
Yeah, you got a lot of circles at this point.
Lots of circles.
Was there a person or early in your life that influenced you?
Oh yeah, my grandmother and my great grandmother and my great aunt, they prayed over me as a kid, and I'm certain that's where my faith really got started.
Mm-hmm.
Went dormant for a number of years, but It was always there. I felt it. I felt a kinship with the Lord, but I wasn't saved.
What brought you back? What got you
In
re-engaged?
In 1986, we were under heavy pressure at the agency for a particular program, and my boss died. Massive brain aneurysm. And I held that up and I looked at what caused that. And there are a lot of factors. But my boss's boss, he put so much pressure on the guy, he killed him. That was my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So he came down to our area at the agency and he had everybody get together and hold hands, and he said a prayer for Charlie. And I was so impressed by the prayer, because I didn't particularly care for this guy. I went up to his office in the main building and had a chat with him and said, how can you put maximum pressure on a guy to the point of him exploding and call yourself a Christian? Well, he gave me my first Bible that I could read, a Thompson Chain Reference Bible.
I'll be done.
He said, are you saved? I said, well, yeah, I've known Christ my whole... No, are you saved? Well, I learned what saved was in 1986.
Wow. Yeah. From an imperfect man that may
Yes.
have caused the death of another.
Yes, and all he was doing was counting heads. There are some Christians that recruit other people into the faith because of the numbers. He was one of those. I'm convinced he's in heaven. I'm convinced he was saved, but he was a different kind of personality. The worst boss I ever had, and then because of my faith, the best boss I've ever had.
So if somebody's listening to this, they might be inclined to think, well, Steve Tate must be pretty soft on his employees. And yet the first time I met you, Steve, I distinctly remember you telling a group of other business leaders that you were pushing a deadline, I think the night before or the week before, to get a proposal out the door.